Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. Today we got day 2 of Murders at Karlov Mana spoilers. It's going to be a good time. We got some powerful cards coming out, and it's just getting better. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification. Links in the description, eBay store, TCG player, Patreon, all that good jazz. There's a membership function if you want to do some private video stuff. You know, kind of like, well, not even close to OnlyFans. But anyway, you'll get to see videos a lot sooner than everybody else, so check it out. Help out a player. It helps us stay sponsor free. But if ShamWow ever calls, you guys are going to be having a lot of ShamWow commercials. I'm just saying. Anyway, so let's get started with the new list of spoilers for today on the 17th. We'll start off with the Private Eye. Hey, get it? Get it? Eye. Private. Anyway, moving on. Blue, white, and 1 for a 3/3. Other detectives you control get +1/+1. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, target detective can't be blocked this turn. Not too bad. Probably only going to be a limited card, but it's kind of neat. Not to mention it's a Lord of Detectives. They could have just called it Sherlock Holmes. Anyway, moving on. All right, next we have the Gearbane Orangutan. The poet didn't know it. Red and 2 for this 2/2 with reach. Monkey with reach? Anyway, when it enters the battlefield, you choose one, destroy up to one artifact, or sacrifice an artifact. If you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters on the orangutan. Hey, it's like a Mox Monkey, but a little better. Sorta, kinda. If you guys don't remember the old Ukatabi orangutan that was green that destroyed artifacts, this is just as good and will be just as popular. 2/2 for 3 has reach. Worst case scenario, it's a 2/2 for 3 that has reach, I guess. Yeah, this is a good card, great common. It's going to see a lot of play, especially in Commander. Next, we have the Unyielding Gatekeeper. This bad boy, or I should say elephant, is a white and 1 for a 3/2, already good. It has Disguise of white and 1. That means if you play it face down for 3 colorless, you can turn it face up for a white and 1. When you do, if it's turned face up, you exile another target non-land permanent. If you controlled it, return it to the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, its controller creates a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. Basically, you can blink your Yorion or anything else that you have, protect your creature, destroy your opponent's non-land permanent that you don't like, and give them a 2/2. This is the best white removal with feet. Yes, it will take 5 mana, but 5 mana to destroy any permanent, give your basically play gift, or whatever that white one was for 3 mana, and an additional 2 to make a 3/2. This is just good. This is going to see tons of standard play, limited all-star, commander all-star. I think it's probably a bit much to see play in any other format. It's not a human, it's a cleric, it's an elephant. But yeah, this is definitely going to make some waves. Just saying it's good. Next we have Intrude on the Mind. 2 blue and 3. Instant. Reveal top 5 cards of your library. Separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of those piles. Put that pile in your hand and the other in the graveyard. Create a 0/0 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Then put a +1/+1 counter on it for each card put in your graveyard this way. So this is a Factor Fiction for 1 more. That also gives you at least a 1/1 flyer. This is just nuts. Draw 3 cards, get a 2/2 flyer, or at worst, draw 2 cards for 5 and get a 3/3 flyer. This is just good. Powerhouse in limited. Great. Probably going to be great in standard. Commander All-Star. It's going to see tons of play. So many good cards in the set. Wow. Next we have Delaney, or Dealney? Streetwise Lookout. White and 2, mythic for 2/2. Creatures you control, power 2 or less, can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or more. And if an ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, trigger it an additional time. This, so much shenanigans for Commander. Also, great for standard. Good limited card. What more do you want? is a human. 3 mana might keep it out of the humans deck, but if you put this in a humans deck and you happen to drop a Thalia's Lieutenant with this on the board, hello, nurse. So, anyway, moving on. Next we have Magnetic Snuffleupagus. Anyway, 5 colorless, 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, return target equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to it. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Limited All-Star. And that's about it. But hey, what can you do? Moving on, we have the Undercover Crocodelf. What the heck? An Elf Crocodile Detective. Oh, Crocodile Elf Detective Undercover. Okay, I get it. Oof, boy, I had to really go there. Blue, green, and 4 for a 5/5. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, investigate. That's really good. Has Disguise of 5. Great common for limited. Probably the only place it's going to see any play, but wow, this is a good card for limited. Really good card. Our next one, we have the Shady Informant. Get it? It's Shady. He's the informant. Anyway. Red, black, and 3 for a 4/2 common. Whenever it dies, deals 2 damage to any target. Has Disguise of 4. Real good card. Yeah, this is going to be a great limited card. I don't think it's going to see standard play. It's just not good enough. But it is close. It is close. So, moving on, we have the Fairy Snoop. Black, blue, and 1 for a 1/4 flying. Has Disguise for 3 mana. When the Fairy Snoop is turned face up, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one in your hand, the other into your graveyard. I mean, it's good for limited. It's really about as far as this is going to go. Next, we have the Culvert Ambusher. 2 green and 3 for this 4/5. When it enters the battlefield or is turned face up, target creature blocks its turn if able, has Disguise of 5. I mean, I don't know if I can call this an uncommon, but whatever. So, maybe in limited. Next we have Undercity Eliminator. So, 2 black and 3 for a 3/3 Gorgon Assassin. When it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact or creature. When you do, exile target creature an opponent controls. God, that's only limited. It's just not good enough. Not good enough. Next we have Assemble the Players. White and 1 enchantment. You look at the top card of your library at any time. Once each turn, you may cast a creature spell, power 2 or less from the top of your library. Hello, Nurse. This is going to see tons of play in white weenie decks. I mean, you get to play off the top of your deck until you find a land. Well, you get to play at least 1 card. But hey, sometimes drawing 2 cards a turn, 1 off the top of your deck, is just good enough. Wow. This, this is good. Man, is this good. And it's once each turn, so if you have flash creatures, like you can cast on your opponent's turn, or Commander cast on every opponent's turn, this is going to be a popular card. Probably only about $5 because it's got a lot of limitations to it, but it's going to be good. So, moving on. We have Buried in the Garden. White, green, and 2 for this enchantment aura. It enchants a land. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent you don't control until Bury the Garden leaves the battlefield. Whenever the enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 additional mana of any color. Oh, okay. So it's basically Utopia Sprawl plus Oblivion Ring on 1 card. That seems good. That seems real good. Jesus. Great for limited. Maybe too much for standard. Could be an amazing commander card. Just saying. Next we have Case of the Stashed Skeleton. Black and 1. When it enters the battlefield, you get to make a 2/1. Skeleton creature token and suspect it. I mean, because why wouldn't you? To solve it, you control no suspected creatures, or no suspected skeletons. Well, that's easy to do because you let your skeleton die. Anyway, once it's solved for a black and 1, sacrifice this case, search your library for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle, activate. This is a demonic tutor. Yeah, that is what this is. This is going to be good. Why is this not a mythic? Holy crap. Yeah, this is going to see lots of play. Let's just put that out there. Limited, standard, commander. Probably a bit much for the older formats because it takes 4 mana, but I'm not even saying it's not good enough for that. It probably is. The problem is there just might be better cards in those older formats because this is sweet. Holy crap, is this thing sweet. All right, moving on, we have the Pyrotechnic Performer, red and 1. It's a 3-2 for 2. Can't get much better than that unless it has Disguise. Disguise is for 1 red. So 3 mana to put it face down for 2-2 reward. 1 red to flip it up to give you a 3-2. And when the Performer or another creature you control is turned face up, that creature deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. This is an insane card in a deck that flips creatures face up. Wow, is this good. In Commander, Powerhouse, you could just start bolting your opponents left and right, or 5 and 6ing them to the dome, depending on what you're flipping face up. Going to be great in Limited. Holy cow, is it going to be good because it's cheap and it's got power. And it's great for Standard. I mean, 2 mana, 3-2 in red. What more do you ask for? It's not even legendary. I mean, it says it all right here in the flavor text. Let's get this party started. Yeah, and it definitely will. Next, we have the Steam Core Scholar. Blue and 2, a weird detective. Get it? Weird detective? Anyway, Flying Vigilance 2-2. Whenever it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards unless you discard an instant, sorcery, or creature card with flying. Interesting choice. But a 3 mana 2-2 flying with Vigilance that lets you draw 2 and probably keep a card. This is going to be bananas. Every blue deck is going to have this. Every commander deck that plays blue is going to have this. It's going to be amazing and limited. This might see play in some of the, well, it depends what it's doing in the older formats, but this just seems really powerful. God, does this seem powerful. Do I say that too much? I mean, is the power creep so real? I'm just like system shocked to say how powerful everything is. But man, it's just, the rares and the mythics just seem so good. Oh, so good. All right. Moving on once more, we have the Bloodline Ripper, 3 black and 3 vampire assassin. It's got flying, ward, sacrifice a creature. It's a 6/5. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life. You gain 2 life. Oh my God, is this thing good? It's like Grizzlebrand, but not. I'm joking. It's not Grizzlebrand. Not even close. But this is an amazing creature for 6 mana. Flying, ward, sack a creature. When a creature dies, the opponent loses 2 life. Because they're going to lose 2 life, you're going to gain 2 life when they sacrifice the creature to target this thing, or this monstrosity, I should say. Limited All-Star. Oh, God. Probably pretty good for Commander. It'll be good in Standard as a reanimation target, but really only until... It will only be that good until Atraxa leaves. Until then, Atraxa is going to be the end-all, beat-all over this card. But you may see 1 or 2 of these pop up in those decks because this is not legendary like Atraxa. So you can have more than one of them on the battlefield, and that might make a difference. Maybe we go down to 3 Atraxas, 1 of these. Who knows? I mean, all said and done, there are plenty of powerhouse creatures in the set. So, with all that said, guys, we got a short one today. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. Bloodline Ripper. Is that like Jack the Ripper? God, that's a bad pun. I'll see myself out.